Okay, Jungle Explorer here, and today we're going to be talking about how to repair the fuel line on the Stihl FS90 weed eater. There's a common problem that's occurred with this weed eater. I've had to repair it multiple times, and I decided to make this video just in case some other people were having this problem. There's no need to take it into the shop for this repair. It's something you can do yourself. It's really not that hard. No special experience needed. So I'm just making this video to show you how to repair it. This is the FS90, but it would probably apply to pretty much all Stihl weed eater models in the same range here, as they all work off of the same basic system. Let me explain to you first how the system works and what is causing the problem. All these Stihl weed eaters have this little pressure bulb right here. And you might think that the purpose of the bulb is to suck gasoline up into the carburetor, but that's actually not the purpose of the bulb. The purpose of this bulb here is to actually pressurize the tank. The tank is a sealed system. It's an airtight system. It has an O-ring around the gas cap here. You can see that right here. And so it's a pressurized system. And what happens when you push this little bulb here is that you're pushing air into the tank via one of the tubes, which I will show you later once I get the air breather off. There's two tubes that go from the carburetor into the tank. One is to input air, so to push air in, thereby pressurizing the tank. There's another tube that connects to the tank, and once the tank becomes pressurized, it begins to push gasoline up to the other tube into the carburetor. Once the engine starts, the engine is pushing pressure into the tank and gasoline. It keeps the pressure on the tank. So it's very important that this tank, all the seals and everything, are perfectly sealed so that it maintains the pressure. And this is one of the main problems that occurs with this type of system. Sometimes you have loss of power. It's all due to lack of pressure in the tank, and there's an air leak somewhere. Now, one of the common things that happen with this, with mine, is the tube that actually goes to the gas has a little filter. Don't know if you can see it down in there. It falls off, and once it falls off, there's no way to get it back on without actually opening it up. And that's where I'm going to show you how to do that and how to get that tube back on and a temporary fix for that problem. So what you're going to need, at least on this model, is a star bit. I'm not sure what the actual number this is. And on different models it might be different sizes, but this has a star bit. So we'll start by taking off, we'll go ahead and take the air breather off here. Take that off, get that out of the way. And then there's three star bits, or torques they call them, screws that hold the pull start on here. Get lined up. Okay, so three screws hold the pull start thing on here, so pull that off. Okay, now the tank is totally loose, but there are actually a couple of rubber inserts right here. As I begin to pull the tank, you'll see that rubber right there, and there's one up here on top, and it's kind of hard to get out. So, but before we pull the tank off, it's hard to get light actually in to this area, but there's two little tubes right here. Now, it would be a smart idea, if you've never done this before, to go ahead and take a picture from the front side over here, and so that you kind of know the configuration of the hoses. There's three actual hoses that go in, one back in here and two right here. You're going to use a pair of needle nose pliers to grab at the base of the hoses. Don't grab the hoses and pull. You run a big risk of actually breaking the hose. What you want to do is use a pair of needle nose pliers, grab at the base of the hose and push it up. What this does is it compresses the rubber, makes it larger, and it makes it come off. If you pull, that shrinks the rubber hose and tightens it up. So you want to grab it at the base and push it off. It comes very easy if you do it like this. If you try to pull it off, you can break that hose, and then you've got to find a hose to replace it with, and that's not too common. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this off. Now you can see that third hose that was kind of up in there. And now where that was connected, hold on, here, was to this right here. And that's where your pressure is going into your tank. So you have these two here, and this is your pressurized. So now you can see down in there that there's the little filter. Now I'm going to try to pull that out here. Okay, so now that hose is totally fallen off. Now where it's connected to is this right here. Now this is pressed in there. It's got an O-ring, and it's kind of hard to get out. So what you're going to get is a screwdriver, and you're going to push up on this little thing right here, this little tab. Now sometimes it's going to be hard, and you actually might even feel like you're going to break it. But just be careful and kind of give it a little pressure there, and pop that right out. And you can see that O-ring right there. So this is where that hose goes. And I'm not sure why Stihl didn't do something better to actually hold this thing on, because this is actually a brand new replacement part I ordered, and it's fallen off a couple of times. So I'm going to do a little jimmy rigging here to kind of make it a little better. Try to make it hold on there a little harder this time. Okay, so I'm just going to take a little piece of copper wire here. Copper or brass will be fine. And just wrap it around there, trying to, I don't know, tighten it up a little bit, because it keeps falling off. And like I said, Stihl should really work on this, because I've had a lot of trouble with this thing falling off and having to take this thing apart. It's not that it's that hard to do, it's just it's inconvenient. You're out there working, then you have to stop, clean everything up, and you know, before you can go back to work. So and I'm just going to put that on there, kind of tighten that up a little bit. Hopefully it'll stay on there a little better. So that's all there is to fixing that right there. We're just going to put this back in here, and you really need to get this thing down in there real good and make sure there's no dirt. There's no dirt around the lip. Clean, you know, it's good to clean this off before you go to work on it, so you don't have any dirt get in there, especially around this little ring right here, because like I said, it's an airtight system. It has to be totally sealed. So you want to get this thing back in here really well. I move the motor over here to the side, get it out of the way, and so I can have something to press on here. Set that down. Got to get this down in here really well, and press down. It's actually quite hard to get back in. This is probably the most difficult part, is getting this thing back in, because there's really no good way to press on this thing. Still not quite there. Like I said, it's this is a really important part here. Got to get that thing way down in there, so that it's totally sealed. Because like I said, if you've got an air leak somewhere on this gas tank, it's going to cause you pressure problems, stalling problems. So we've got it back in. It's down in there. Now it's just ready to put it back together. And putting it back together is the reverse of taking it apart. So just grab hold of it here, and just going to line those two rubber things up and press her on. And once you get her in position, now comes the tedious work of getting the little hoses back in their position. I'm going to start with the back one here to get a little light on the subject. You see I'm putting that hose on that one there and just pushing it on. Okay, next I'm going to put this one back on. And in the third one. Okay, so that's back on. Go ahead and fully insert that. Put the gas cap back on here. Alright, now go ahead and put our I'm going to leave it loose just until I get everything lined up and in. And we'll put our breather back on. Okay, now we're ready for gas. Now the Stihl FS90 uses a 50-to-1 mix. You can mix your own, but if you don't know how to do it, one thing you need to know, if you're going to mix your own gas, you need to use high octane gas, 92 or 93 octane. We're going to go ahead and put a little bit of gas in there. And if everything's done right, when I press the little air pressure bulb there, it should start, after a few presses, we should start getting fuel up in it. So we got gas up in there and we're ready to go. If you've enjoyed this video and it's been helpful to you, please like, subscribe, and comment. Until next time, Jungle Explorer, signing out.